Hello everyone, and this is my review for Monday Night Raw on September 21st, 2015. And, you know, this Raw felt pretty lackluster. I mean, there were some good points to it, and I will get to those, especially Xavier Woods during the six-man tag with the Dudley Boys and Dolph Ziggler versus Rusev and New Day. I thought the bit he was doing with his trombone throughout the entire match was hilarious. I also liked their promo beforehand. That match itself was actually kind of fun, though. Like I said, I haven't been big about the Dolph Ziggler Rusev feud, but I am probably a little bit more excited watching the Dudley Boys and the New Day having more matches somewhere down the road. But the bit that they did beforehand with the promo, Xavier Woods' promo about going through the table the night before, was actually kind of funny. And also his ability to play Rusev's theme song. No, not the most difficult theme song to play, but still doing it on the trombone was kind of hilarious as well. I actually kind of liked what they were doing with that. Sheamus having a match with Mark Henry, kind of just a throwaway match, trying to build Sheamus up a little bit more, probably for some kind of Money in the Bank cash-in somewhere down the road. But the main focus of the night, well, actually not the main focus. Well, this one kind of got some main focus in there, but I felt it was a really good spot on the show. They were doing the celebration of Charlotte winning the Divas title, and you know, they're cutting your typical face type promo and everything, and this is where they turn page, literally and figuratively. In this case, Paige turns on the other members of her team, and instead of just, you know, attacking them like any other heel turn would typically be, she just does it by cutting a scathing promo about the entire Divas Revolution and everything that was going on. And, you know, bringing in Lana and Summer Rae in there as well, talking about basically everybody possible within the promo. I thought the promo was really good. You could tell it was kind of shoot, but also obviously very worked in there. A good way of turning her heel, and we'll see where they go with that one, because obviously they're going to do something with Nikki Bella and Charlotte. Obviously they're going to play off of the rematch clause and everything, and that's what they did tonight, but they obviously brought them back in right afterwards, where Charlotte had a match with Brie. Decent match, a good way of playing off of the knee again, like they did from the night before, and the fact that they kind of remained consistent with that was a good way of going. I liked where they went with that, but I'll be more interested to see how they work Paige into the Divas title picture now. Whether it's going to be a one-on-one with Charlotte at some point in time, or they're going to do some kind of triple threat, or wherever they're going to go with it down the road here. But this was actually pretty good segment, a good way of turning Paige heel, good promo from her, and everything kind of worked well with that one in this case. Now this is going to bring me actually to the other main point that I wanted to talk about. I didn't really want to talk much about Raw this week because there wasn't much to do with it. They've continued on with Stardust and Neville and having the Lucha Dragons and Ascension in there. They just had another six-man tag. Everything on that aspect match pretty good, but where are they going with this storyline? In there, they've been just trading wins for the time being. Where are they going to actually go with that? Otherwise, like I said, there's just not much to truly talk about in there. I'll go through the aspect of Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns with the Wyatts again. Mainly, basically what you had been seeing the entire time, but now they're reinserting Randy Orton in there. And that's what I figured they were going to kind of do, was hoping that they would kind of maybe get Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns away and they do something with Chris Jericho like from the night before, but hopefully they save that for somewhere down the road. I actually liked what they had for that, and that has potential for feud down the road. I guess in this case, because they're obviously not going to do it immediately, because they didn't even have, outside of the mentions of the match, there was no aspect with Chris Jericho at all on the show in there. And like I said, not too much really going on with Raw tonight. It was kind of a downer. Again, they are using Cesaro as well to build Big Show going into his match with Brock Lesnar on the on October 3rd with the MSG event that they're going to have on the network and everything. So they're kind of putting Cesaro back into this role of you're going to put people over type area. I hope after the MSG event they have Cesaro do a little bit more, but I'm not sure what they're going to go with him in any way. But and I think that's pretty much everything. Now I can get to the main point of Raw, and I actually kind of like this one. Kind of shocking that I'm going to be saying this too. The whole night before, after the match with Seth Rollins and Sting, you had Sheamus come out, and they were going to look like they were going to do the cash-in aspect of everything. He knocks out Seth Rollins with a brogue kick. It looks like it's going to happen, and Kane appears, and they decided to have him come out dressed up as the Demon, the Demon Kane versus Corporate Kane in there, and he attacks Seth Rollins, attacks Sheamus, prevents the cash in, everything on that aspect, tombstones Seth Rollins. So they come into tonight, and you have Seth Rollins all like worried and everything. All of a sudden you see Corporate Kane again, and you're thinking in your head, okay, what's going on? And you have Seth Rollins going on the aspect of, wait a minute, after everything you did last night, and it's like, wait, what did I do last night? Like, the aspect of Kane not even acknowledging that he did the demon portion the night before was actually kind of funny in my thought process. But in the end, I'm not sure exactly where they're going to go with it. I found it entertaining, like his interactions with Triple H and Stephanie and Seth Rollins in there, and then his interaction with Seth Rollins after his match with John Cena, where they had the rematch from the night before and everything. Again, with that match, really good match. We've seen it though. In this case, it's. I'm not going to say it's getting old really fast. It's just, you know, we've kind of seen that Seth Rollins and John Cena, they can put on really good matches, and we'll see, and honestly, I think they'll probably get them two away from each other for a little while in this case. So we'll see if they go anywhere with that. I kind of hope they don't. I want to see Cena going one other direction. Obviously, it looks like Seth Rollins is going somewhere with Kane at this point in time. So, you know, but like just his interactions the entire night, and then and just lines that he would say is like, oh, well, if you lost the mask, then I see we can have a problem, so I'll help you find it, type area. Like he was just overly cheery the entire night in the Corporate Kane area. And then you had the bit at the end of the night where the Demon Kane comes out and pulls Seth Rollins underneath the ring. I found this to be a bit entertaining, to make it feel like, okay, it's like, it's obviously the same guy, but you kind of get the feeling it's like, oh, it's two different variations of Kane on the same show. Not too bad. Not too bad of segments in there. So overall, outside of the bits with Kane and the bit with Paige, and also I like the Xavier Woods stuff and the New Day stuff as well. Not much to really write home about Raw. The stories getting built up aren't much of anything at this time. We'll see where they're going with everything. Obviously, they've been building this. They've been building the whole Brock Lesnar thing as well with this Go to Hell tour with the MSG event. Then he's going to have the podcast with Stone Cold, and then he's going to have, and this is probably the bigger announcement out of all of them, the Hell in the Cell match with The Undertaker at the next pay-per-view, which is called Hell in a Cell. Obviously, they're not going on the, they're not going with different names. I wish they would. Make it less evident that you're going to go with the Hell in a Cell matches in just October or elsewhere. It would be, I still feel those type of gimmick matches have a bigger impact and incentive when they're announced for a feud properly. And this match deserves the Hell in the Cell. I don't like with the reports that have happened backstage after the last two, especially after WrestleMania 30, and what reportedly was going on after SummerSlam this year, it's hard to say if you actually want to see The Undertaker do this match, because if he's collapsed after the concussion he got at WrestleMania 30, and then also collapsed again after his match at SummerSlam with Brock, and the way those two work, and the way those two work together, and the way they'll want to work a Hell in a Cell match, I almost don't want to see it. Because you feel like maybe Undertaker will get severely injured in this case, and it might, be bad for his overall health to actually do this. I'm hoping that's not going to be the case in the end, and we'll see what the match and the feud and where they continue on with this feud going into the Hell in a Cell match goes. But that aspect is still a little scary for, like, Mark Calloway's actually real life personal health. The way he will want to work that match with Brock Lesnar might cause him to get severely injured, kind of like maybe what happened with Sting the night before and everything like that. So a little bit worried on that one. Hope that doesn't happen at the Hell in a Cell match, but we'll see what happens with everything and how they build that feud as well. Obviously, they're going to be building a feud around Kane and Seth Rollins here in the very near future, leading into probably a pay-per-view match somewhere down the road, probably Hell in a Cell. We'll see where they go with John Cena, whether or not he'll do a U.S. Open challenge. And we'll also see where they decide to continue on with Ryback and Kevin Owens as well. They didn't really do much this week. It was just kind of Kevin Owens attacking Ryback from behind, and then Ryback getting an advantage and Kevin Owens running away. So obviously they're going to continue on with that feud with the Intercontinental title. So we'll see where they go with that as well. Overall, Raw was kind of meh this week outside of a few spots. Not anything too crazy, but not anything all that great either. On there, you had a couple really good segments on there, which I've gotten through with most of the show, most of this review. But yeah, that is my review this week for Monday Night Raw, and I thank you guys for watching.